Good afternoon and welcome. This is Andrea Kruger, Director of People and Culture Initiatives at the Pittsburgh Technology Council. I'm joined today by Marie Poloni, our sister organization 40 by 80's STEM Engagement Coordinator. We are thrilled to have you join us for our very first virtual STEM Summit. We have over 700 registered, including students, parents, and educators. We will share some of the schools that are here with us in the chat session of this call. You should see something popping up at the bottom of your screen now. So take a peek in the chat to see who else is joining in on this virtual adventure. Many of you may be learning about the Pittsburgh Technology Council and 40 by 80 for the very first time today. Our organization is a group of more than 1,000 local technology businesses, manufacturing firms, and life science related organizations who have come together to make our region a better place to live, work, and to build amazing companies that together are working to change the world. What's the most important thing that those companies have asked us to work on? Talent. In other words, they want to tell all of you about some of the fun and exciting jobs that are available for you to pursue right here in Pennsylvania. Before we get too much further, I want to give a huge shout out to some of those companies who help sponsor this work. Gold sponsors, BNY Mellon and Giant Eagle. Silver sponsors, Lanxess and SDLC Partners. Bronze sponsors, CGI and Industrial Scientific. Supporting sponsors, Giftia and Highmark. Okay, so before we begin, I want to share some details about the format of today's session. First, be aware the call is being recorded, today by Zoom, and also thanks to Pittsburgh's PCTV, this will also be recorded and simultaneously broadcast on the internet at PCTV's website at https://www.pctv21.org/watch. Also, if you live in the city of Pittsburgh, you can watch us live on channel 21 on Comcast or channel 47 on Verizon. And lastly, you can watch on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV by downloading the Pittsburgh Community TV app. The STEM Summit has historically been held as a full-day, in-person event that attracts nearly 300 students and teachers who physically tour some of our member companies' offices. We are especially thankful that participation in this year's format has allowed us to more than double our participation, with 700 teachers and students joining us over the next week and a half for this year's virtual STEM Summit. Our lineup of speakers for the summit are as follows. Thursday, tomorrow, May 28th, from Google, Ade Adedayo, Partner Technology Manager, and from Google X, Jessica Tribus, Firestarter of Moonshots. Friday, May 29th, from Duolingo, Louis Von On, co-founder and CEO. Duolingo is Pittsburgh's first startup company that has been valued at more than $1 billion. Monday, June 1st, from the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, Louis D. Falo Jr., MD, PhD, Chairman of the Department of Dermatology. Dr. Falo is one of the 2 scientists at Pitt that are leading the school's work to develop a vaccine for the COVID virus. Tuesday, June 2nd, from Facebook Reality Labs Pittsburgh, Chuck Huber, General Manager. Facebook has selected Pittsburgh as a lead site for the work in virtual reality. Wednesday, June 3rd, Allegheny Health Network. Thursday, June 4th, from BNY Mellon, Saurabh Singh, Senior Specialist, Information Security Analyst. And Friday, June 5th, from Uber Advanced Technology Center, Julie Darrence, Software Engineer. Julie works on building self-driving cars. You also heard me mention my colleague from 40 by 80 earlier. The Pittsburgh Technology Council launched 40 by 80 which, by the way, are the longitude and latitude coordinates of Pittsburgh on a map, to specifically help school students and technology businesses to work together. To that, we hired our very own math and science teacher, who I'm excited to introduce to you now. Marie, take things away.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you to everyone who is joining us. And as Andrea said, I'm Marie Poloni, the STEM Engagement Coordinator for PTC's charitable organization, 40 by 80. Today and each day of the STEM Summit, we really want maximum participation from all of you. So if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you should see a hand and a Q&A. If you have a question, go ahead and type it in under Q&A, and then be sure to raise your hand, and we will do our best to get to all of your questions. As Andrea noted, everything is very secure, and so no one will be able to see your name or your question except for us as the hosts. Next, so that we can get to know all of you a little more and you can get some experience with the Zoom webinar platform, we're going to be asking you some fun polling questions. So to participate, answer the question when it appears on your screen. See how your answers compare to everyone else's. Have fun with this. Feel free to close that little small survey screen after each question. Do you have any questions before we begin? I see lots of questions and lots of highs. Oh, the one question that came in, what is the app on Roku? So on Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon, it's all under Pittsburgh Community TV. And then you can download that. Any other questions about what we're going to be doing today? All right, then let's get started. So again, we're just trying to get to know you. Answer the polling questions whenever they appear on your screen. And a lot of these connect to those amazing speakers that Andrea just talked about. So the first one is really important, and this one is just for us. When we talk about STEM, we talk about science and technology and engineering and mathematics. What area most interests you? You should see the poll up on your screen. You can go ahead and log in. Look at that, tons of answers coming in. Very cool. We have technology is leading. I'll share my favorite is science. Oh, science is pulling in there. All right, about 9 more seconds until everybody has their answers in. Very cool. Very close. We have mathematics coming in the end there with just 15%, and the leader being technology. So these talks over the next 7 days are going to connect to all of these different areas. And we hope to have you join all of them. All right, another question. One of our speakers is going to be Facebook Reality Labs, Chuck Hoover. So talking about that, let's see about this question. Have you ever tried virtual reality in any way? Yes or no? What's really neat is, as Andrea talked about, we have students as young as primary age kids all the way up to undergrads, doctorate students, working professionals. So it's kind of cool to see these different answers come in. Oh, very cool. 73% have tried virtual reality. Okay, so then finding that out, let's see what your favorite one is. As far as these are VR games, I have to say that I knew nothing about these VR games. My kids for sure do. But have you ever played any of the following VR games? You can select all that apply. Super Shot, No Man's Sky, Defector, Vader Immortal, Space Pirate Trainer, Beat Saber, Astrobot, Tetris Effect, Skyrim, or have you tried none of these? I would be none of these, but I think they look really cool. Like, I would love to try Vader Immortal, I'll be honest, or Beat Saber. All right, 3 more seconds. Choose your answers. This is going to be cool for you guys to see what the answers are for this one. We have a lot of, we've never tried these particular games. I know you use VR in a lot of different ways, but here is the result. The winning game looks to be Beat Saber. I totally want to try that. Yeah, that looks really fun. Okay, so another speaker that we're going to be having comes from Uber. And we wanted to know, in looking at Uber and looking at Pittsburgh as being the first to have a self-driving car, have you ever driven in a self-driving car? Maybe an Uber, maybe a Tesla. Have you actually ever driven or ridden? Hopefully you're not all driving. Have you ever ridden in a self-driving car? Another cool question would be, would you like to? Because how amazing would that be? My kids always ask lots of questions like, can you play on your computer while you're in the car? Do you even have to be looking? 2 more seconds. Wow. All right, so you guys are pretty awesome. We have 16% of you who have driven in a self-driving car. So that'll be really neat on the day Uber's here. She has worked on that project, our speaker coming from Uber, and will really be able to give us an inside scoop. Okay, Friday is all about Duolingo. Really awesome. One of the startups of Pittsburgh, as Andrea said, to be the first to reach that $1 billion mark. So what is the most important reason to learn a new language, in your opinion? What is the most important reason to learn a new language? Do you think it's to connect with other people, to get into college, to talk to family members, to really stretch your brain and have that practice of learning another language, to make traveling to other countries easier, or to give you a wider perspective? Go ahead and take some time to answer those. Oh, we have a participant. Divya says that she has an interesting fact about Duolingo. Why don't you go ahead and type that in your Q&A, Divya, and I'll read that out loud. Two more seconds to choose your answer. Oh, really neat answers for this one. Let's look at all of those. So the most important reason, people thought it would be to really connect with other people, which I agree, looking at all those other cultures. It is a requirement a lot of times to get into college if you're thinking about that. Some of us have family members that speak another language. Stretching your brain, I love that one. 18% to make traveling to other countries easier, and 19% to give you a wider perspective. We're going to have to share these results with the CEO, Louis, who's going to be on here on Friday, because I think he would be really interested in seeing just some of those answers. Another one about language while we're on here. Which language besides English have you ever studied, or would you like to study? So looking at these choices: Spanish, Latin, French, German, Chinese, Russian, other, if there's one I didn't include. Which one, would you like to study, or have you studied? You can answer that either way. It's great to see how many of you are participating. Each day in our STEM talks, when we're talking to Google, when we're talking to Dr. Phalo, when we're talking to Uber, we're going to be having polling like this going on throughout the talk. So they'll be giving their presentation and asking you questions, as well as you being able to ask them questions. So it's great to see how well you are using it. All right, here's your results. I'm going to end the poll. Spanish is our number one at 37%, either have studied it or would like to study. Latin came in at 7%, Russian at 2%. I actually thought Latin would be the bottom. I would love to hear what some of those others would be. Very cool. All right, let's just look at a few more, and then we're going to be wrapping it up for today. You're definitely doing a great job of answering them, and I feel comfortable with how well you're using the Q&A and the chat. Let's do, would you rather be able to read people's minds, or would you rather time travel? We have Google and Google X with us looking at solving the world's problems. Who knows what they will come up with? Which one would you like them to work on? Reading people's minds or time travel? All right, one more second to choose your answer. Very interesting. I would have to agree with those results. The results have come in that they would like to time travel. We'll make sure, if I don't remember, you guys remember to tell Google tomorrow that that would be the one that you would like for them to start to work on next. All right, I think this was an awesome start for sure. You can go ahead and close your screen. Are there any questions just about the format, about what's coming up, about how to use the webinar technology before we close it out for today? Oh, I'm sorry, Shan. There are some things shared here about Duolingo. They did put it in the chat. My mom and I lived in Suriname for 2 years, and we used Duolingo to learn Dutch. Very cool. 2 languages. We have a lot of people in here who have studied languages. Oh, really neat. You're definitely going to be liking the lineup. Some great questions about security. Nobody can see you. No one can see your name. You'll be able to see the speakers' names. We're going to have a student panel. You'll be able to see those students and their names, and then that's it. If you ask a question, so the other participants today can't even see any of your questions. Only we can as hosts, and unless we answer it by typing, no one will be able to see that. Good security questions. Any other questions? Right, yes. Exactly. You would not be able to see the questions. We just want to keep everybody safe because, like Andrea said, we have 700 people registered and even more by the time we get started. And no, your voices cannot be heard either. So you're here to really answer questions, ask questions, and then just listen and get the inside scoop that all of these STEM leaders are going to have to throw your way. All right, Andrea, I think I got to all of them. I'm going to kick it back to you to sort of wrap up our day. But again, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you over the next 7 days.
Thank you, Marie, or should I say thank you, Mrs. Poloni. That was a lot of fun. I hope you students enjoyed interacting with the polling and getting used to Zoom, just getting comfortable with this platform that we're going to be using for the next 7 days. So now that you know how this works and you've heard the great lineup of speakers that we have coming up, please feel free to share the details of this great event series with your friends and family. It's not too late to join. Your friends can sign up every day. Every day is a unique event, and the more the merrier. So we will see you all tomorrow at 1 o'clock to hear from Google and Google X. Have a great day.